At exactly 12:06 a.m., the radio spoke my name. I should have turned it off, but I turned the volume up instead. It was just supposed to be another night shift. Another boring hour at a half-dead radio station. 99.6 FM, off the air since the 70s. No staff, no broadcast, just an empty studio at the edge of the city. And me, sitting in front of an old dusty control board that smelled like rust and rain. They said an anchor once died here, live on air. The static never stopped after that night. Around midnight, the power flickered. The lights dimmed, and the frequency meter, it moved. The signal shouldn't exist. But there it was. 99.6 FM. Then, a voice came through. "Good evening, listeners. Tonight, we are not alone." I froze. It wasn't a recording. It was live. Then I heard it. My name. Sana Khalid? Can you hear me? My throat went dry. There was no one else in the building. The door was locked. My phone had no service. Yet the voice kept talking, whispering names. Names of people who once worked here. People who were dead. I grabbed the mic, my hands shaking. "Who are you?" I said. "Where is this signal coming from?" The voice laughed. "I'm the one you took off air." Static burst through the speakers. The lights went wild. The entire room felt like it was breathing. I tried to pull the plug, but then I heard my own voice. "This is Sana Khalid, coming to you live from the dead frequency." And everything went black. They found the studio sealed the next morning. The recording system had automatically saved a file. When they played it back, it was just static. Except for one line, "Next broadcast, tonight at 12. A year passed. People forgot. But last week, the signal came back. 99.6 FM lit up again. The engineers say it's impossible. There's no tower, no transmitter, nothing. But the file, it appeared on their server anyway. 99.6_night speaked MP3. And in the background, Sana's voice. "I'm not alone anymore. You heard me, didn't you? Now it's your turn." They say anyone who downloads that file gets a call at exactly 12:06 a.m. from an unknown number. When you pick up, all you hear is static. Then a whisper. "Can you hear me now?" So if your phone starts crackling tonight, turn it off. Don't answer. Because once you tune in, you never tune out. The first call came from a technician named Daniel. He'd been assigned to check the static interference that suddenly started pulsing through the city's FM range. When he played the file, he thought it was nothing, just white noise. Then he heard her voice whisper his name. He laughed it off, said it must have been an overlay from an old broadcast. But that night, Daniel never made it home. His car was found parked outside the abandoned station. The engine was still running. The radio dial was stuck at 99.6 FM. After that, the government shut the frequency down. They even demolished the station, replaced it with a parking lot. But no matter how many times they tried to block the signal, it always came back. Different devices, different cities, always the same voice, always the same line. "Good evening, listeners. Tonight we are not alone." People online started calling it the phantom broadcast. Some believed it was just a myth an ARG created to go viral. But others, they posted recordings. Real ones. Files that contained frequencies humans weren't supposed to hear. In every clip, the same glitch appeared. A woman's breath, just before the static breaks. Last week, a YouTuber from Chicago uploaded a new version. He claimed he decoded the message hidden under the static. He didn't show his face in the video, just played the sound at full volume. The clip ended abruptly. His channel's still up, but that video? Gone. Deleted within seconds. People who tried to re-upload it said their screens froze at the same moment. A single frame showing a face staring from behind the microphone. It looked like Sana. Now, every October, the same thing happens. At 12:06 a.m., your radio flickers, your phone catches a shortwave buzz, your Bluetooth connects to something that shouldn't exist. Some say it's a signal looking for a host. Others think it's a voice looking for a reply. And if you ever hear your name through the static, don't answer it. Because once you speak back, the The broadcast never ends. 2 nights later. The signal reached farther than it ever had before. Cars on the highway froze mid-transmission. Radios in diners and gas stations turned themselves on, all locked to 99.6. People swore they heard the same phrase in different states, whispered through the static. "We're live." The FCC traced the origin, but there was no transmitter, no tower, no digital footprint. Just a pulse, moving like it was alive, shifting from one frequency to another, hiding in the noise between channels. At 12:06, the city went quiet. Streetlights dimmed, alarms reset, and for a full 30 seconds every device connected to a single network called Night Speak. Phones rang simultaneously. Those who answered said they only heard breathing, then a voice that mirrored their own, repeating their words in reverse. By morning, social media was flooded with clips, recordings of ghost signals, screenshots of unknown caller IDs. But every upload ended the same way. Corrupted, glitched, or replaced with a file simply titled Broadcast of 73. Some users tried to decrypt the waveform hidden inside. They found a pattern, like coordinates, leading back to the ruins of the old radio tower. The parking lot built over it had cracked open overnight, revealing rusted metal beneath. Someone had carved a single sentence into the concrete. The mic was never turned off. Now, every time the wind shifts after midnight, a faint hiss crawls through the static of every speaker in town. And if you listen closely enough under the white noise, you can hear it building, another voice joining in, another, soul tuning to the frequency. They say the next time the clock hits 12:06, it won't just be a voice. It'll be a chorus. And every listener will finally be lived at a week later. The government classified the incident as a data anomaly. But everyone who worked on the investigation disappeared from public record. Their names were wiped from employee lists, their profiles deleted, their houses left untouched, like they'd never existed. Then came the second wave. Thousands of random smartphones across the country received an identical notification at exactly 12:06 a.m. It wasn't from any app or service provider. Just 3 words. "We are live." People who clicked it said their screens flickered, and their cameras turned on for exactly 6 seconds. Most saw only static. A few saw themselves, except the reflection was smiling before they did. Within hours, the internet filled with new uploads. Anonymous live streams showing empty rooms. No hosts, no chat, no video titles. Just a voice repeating, "Good evening, listeners. Welcome back to 99.6 FM. But here's where it got worse. Those streams didn't come from any known IP address. No router, no source. They just appeared spontaneously, like the signal was creating its own connection. Every attempt to shut it down failed. Every firewall, every ban list, every countrywide block. Nothing stopped it. And then the reports started. People hearing whispers through their AirPods, through Bluetooth speakers, even through unplugged headphones. The same line every time. "Say something, we're waiting." Hacker named Reeve tried tracing it to the origin. He streamed the whole thing live. Viewers watched as he followed the waveform deep into the code, layer after layer, until the signal began answering him. "Welcome, Reeve. We've been watching your screen." He froze. The chat exploded. His microphone turned on without permission. You could hear him breathing. Then he whispered,